Welcome to our channel. We are Technic Force and we help grow your business online. Please hit the subscribe button to get more updates.
Hey guys, this is Cyril Jeet, your best friend in marketing, and today I have a very special guest with me. His name is Ankur Shukla, and he's been a longtime friend and a fellow marketer who's also, by the way, one of the most successful entrepreneurs I've seen. He's good at a lot of things. He's good in marketing. I've seen him create products that have done millions of dollars. He's also good with content, and he owns a very successful content business, by the way, and he's also an expert at investing and one of the few individuals I have seen grow his investments right in front of me many times. I've seen very few people do this. I mean, I talk to people all the time, people make money, but very few actually scale it up from there, and he's done that. And it's a privilege to have him here. We'll be talking to him today about his content business specifically, and he will be sharing exactly how he built it up from scratch, and I'm sure you will find a lot of value in it. So make sure you listen to the entire call because you don't want to miss any of this. All right, so over to you, Ankur. Welcome to the show. Why don't you start by telling us a little bit about yourself and about this amazing business that you've set up?
Hey, Cyril. So first of all, thanks for having me here. And yeah, so I've built a few different businesses, and mainly is in the software space where we build and sell a lot of uh, blogging tools and WordPress tools, WordPress plugins, even a lot of SaaS tools. So all those actually make up the entire portfolio, and we have created a lot of them over the last few years, and that is the main business. Apart from that, I also run over 150 WordPress sites, which is where I got all my inspiration for building the WordPress plugins, and that's how it became an extension of that business. So yeah, if you have any content questions, I'm happy to answer them for you and for your audience. And yeah, let's start.
Awesome, awesome. And I know that you built it because you wanted to create something passive. I know you are busy with your software business with creating the tools, plugins, and the software that you do, but this is absolutely passive, right? You're not working on it on a daily basis, or
No,
are
not at
you?
all. No, not at all. So it started actually many years ago. I think back in 2007 or 8, when I actually wanted to create an automatic blog, and I used WordPress as the platform to do it. And then I found a plugin that actually automatically takes some news articles from various different news sites and then republish them on my own site. And I thought, if we could actually make one, a site which could make like $1 a day, it would be fun because if it is completely automated and makes $1 a day, why not? So I started with a few sites on a few different topics, and after that it just kind of started working. And I think about 4 or 5 months later we made the first dollar on that site, and after that it just kept on growing from there. So expanding on that, I thought, why not just make 100 sites, and then you'll actually make $100 a day. And that because there are infinite topics in this world that you can actually use and build sites around. So that's what we did. And from there, we basically just kept on scaling. And now we have, almost like 180 sites right now.
Wow, 180. That's a lot. Tell me, Ankur, what's your process of finding profitable niches? Or with 180 sites, like, are you going for every one of them? What do you think about, finding the best niches? What has worked for you?
So I do look at, so most of these sites actually work by making money through AdSense. And then, so we look at, high paying keywords on AdSense, and then that is where the search kind of starts because our main way to actually make money from these is AdSense. So we look at high EPC keywords, and then we focus on that and then drill down from there to see that they have a good balance of, organic traffic on search as well. So if a keyword has, let's say, 5,000 searches a month, that is a pretty good standard to kind of follow because it has the sweet spot of having enough traffic, but also might not also have enough competition. But looking at the EPC for AdSense is also important, so we use that for to check on that as well. So yeah, that's the whole strategy. We don't really limit ourselves to any particular niches. We just start from a topic and then just keep going deeper down the rabbit hole.
And how's the rankability? Like from what I hear, I understand that it's a lot of blogs and a lot of content going in.
Right,
And
right.
do you have any particular strategy to filter out what can actually work or what kind of keywords you should be targeting per article wise? Or is there any system that you follow? Or is just, you just create a lot of content and just some of it kind of sticks? What exactly is working for you?
So we basically prefer to create long form content. So every article we create on a site is roughly about 2000 words. And that is the basic minimum, of article size. And then normally we, try to publish at least like basically 1 hour, like 1 to 2 articles a week on every site. And then we just keep on going from there. So earlier the model was based around, creating content manually. So there was a limit to how much content we could create because we would be paying for the content using writers and stuff. Now we use a healthy mix of AI content generation as well because AI content is completely acceptable. So we do that, and now we've kind of scaled up the amount of content we create for that.
I totally agree with you. I have used AI content myself, not at your scale. I mean, I don't have 300 blogs, but I have actually a couple of blogs, and I use AI a lot these days, not just to write my blog. I use it to even write my sales pages, and it works fantastically, and they are ranking. So actually, I did a couple of studies on this, and you're right. AI is actually completely acceptable to Google. Google does not penalize you for using AI content, but if you use probably content that was low quality or not comprehensive, then you will get penalized. Whether it's AI or whether it's human generated, that doesn't matter. So Ankur, which tool are you using? Like, how are you creating this? Are you going to chat GPT and creating these blogs, or is there a system or a different way that we should know?
So we actually made a tool for ourselves, and we also have a site where we actually sell this WordPress plugin. It's called WP AI GPT. So it's basically sold on WPAIGPT.com, and you basically get a plugin which you install on your site, and then it basically adds a bar that you can put in, at the bottom of your WordPress post editor, and then you just basically write a topic, and it creates a long, like a big piece of content for you. And then, it takes a bit of time to kind of optimize it. So we do some manual optimization for the article, kind of create the right flow, put the right, headers and everything, break it down into a much more, organized and a more user, proper, like readable format, and then add some images and stuff, and then that's it. So normally what an article would take like half a day or like maybe 3-4 hours to create, now it takes us like 30 minutes to create. So
Okay, can I
that's
ask you? Can I ask you related to what you just said? Because I'm thinking about people who could want to run this business. And you told me that you're posting 2 articles a week per blog.
yeah.
That's about 360 articles a week if you take all of your blogs comprehensively. So do you actually do this yourself, or have you got a team? How hard it is to train somebody to do this? And what could somebody expect to pay if they hired a VA? Where could they find somebody to do this inexpensive? I'm sure you have figured out some ways. So if you want to share it with our audience.
Sure, sure. So you can actually hire a lot of people for this. There are people that you can hire for like 300-400 bucks a month that can actually do this for you, because we also have tools that kind of take care of the actual laborious work. So you actually take that, and then these people just have to run those tools and then make sure that the content follows certain guidelines. And then as long as all the boxes are checked, it's good to go. So you can hire people on like onlinejobs.ph and on Upwork and all these things. And there are plenty of people you can hire. Philippines is the best place to hire these people, and that's where we have our team as well.
I agree with that. I have used onlinejobs.ph myself, and I've hired some people from there. And I can tell you, those guys are pretty well trained, so definitely highly recommended. I've also hired people from India for this kind of things, not exactly what you're doing, but repetitive stuff that gets done. And after some training, I found that they are also quite affordable. And for that, I have been using LinkedIn. So if anybody wants to do that and you want to hire people online, there are so many sources. Onlinejobs.ph is, of course, one of them, and Upwork is one of them. Upwork is more gig oriented. So if you use Upwork, you might be hiring someone for a particular task, maybe for a week or a project. But if you want to hire someone long term, that is, you want to put them on your payroll, you want to pay them a fee every month or a salary every month and get them to do whatever you want to do, you could probably go for an employee kind of a model. And I found personally that the best place to get people like that is on LinkedIn. I've been using it more and more. It's quite affordable too, by the way. You can save a lot of money. Uh, and personally, just go and give it a try, post a job and see what happens. And don't be afraid to post a job outside of your jurisdiction. You don't have to hire people from your country. Try and experiment. Go for a place which you haven't explored before, and you might be pleasantly surprised. I know I save a lot of money by doing that. What do you think, Ankur? Have you done that too in your business, and it's working for you or not?
Yeah, it is. It is, and it works. really well, but I do prefer having contractors, which kind of, because you can then hire in like multiple countries and you don't really have to, need to kind of follow the local laws in that sense. And, basically you can pay higher, and then that always helps with kind of retaining people long term. So yeah.
I agree with you, and I've seen your delivery project delivery. I've seen the output you have, so it's validated. I know your system works, so yeah, definitely you can experiment and try and find something that works for you. Now, I want to ask you, Ankur, how much time does it typically take for one of your blogs to start becoming profitable? You shared with us that the first blog you set up took 4 months. Is that still kind of the standard model that you're facing, or does it take longer or shorter according to your recent experience?
So we purely focus on organic traffic for these sites. So it usually takes about 3 to 4 months for any site to start producing some amount of decent traffic that actually converts into any income for you. You will start seeing some decent traffic, like maybe 10 to 20 visitors a day on your site from like within the first month actually. But then not all those people actually click on ads. Not all those people actually became email subscribers. So action oriented, like traffic, which actually starts converting into dollars for you, will start about 3 to 4 months out. So that is the time span I see.
Okay, pretty standard. That's not a long wait, honestly. Also, I want to ask you a follow-up question on that. Is there anything you're doing to get indexed faster or to rank your websites better? Are you doing any link building or anything similar that you can share with our audience that can help if they decide to do this?
Yeah, so we do a lot of cross-linking between our sites, which actually helps us with getting the boost that we need for all the new sites. But then I also have a tool called Simple Site Booster, which basically helps you get indexed really fast. So that kind of speeds up the process. Normally, a site will take about a week to get indexed, and with using Simple Site Booster, we get indexed in like 2 days. So that is super fast and gets things going up faster for us.
That's fantastic. I need to get a look at that tool. There are lots of sites I want to rank to. So yeah, I maybe after the call. All right. So I want to, this is something interesting, and I've been thinking about it. And actually, whenever I think of a new product these days, I always put it in the context of AI. Now, you've already shared that you are generating AI-based content, and it's working right now. And this is becoming quite commonplace, quite ubiquitous. Everybody is creating AI content, and there is a lot of content online. Do you actually see this model surviving? Right now, maybe 6 months later, 1 year later, 2 years later, do you see this continuing, still being profitable in the future too?
Yeah, I would say so, unless something drastically happens that Google wakes up and decides to kind of ban all AI content from all these sites. That would be catastrophic. But then apart from that, I think the model is here to stay, and you can just kind of scale that very easily and much faster.
That's very interesting, and I'm sure time will tell. These days, I always feel a little edgy about AI. You never know which way it's gonna end up. So far, things have worked out for me too. I have, in fact, released many tools and which are based on AI, and I've been including more and more AI in my existing tools. And I can tell you, they've become more efficient. They have actually gotten me better results, and for my customers too. So I do agree. AI is right now is going to the path where you see it adding to your arsenal, making you more efficient, more productive, and adding to your income. And there are some fears, but I still see that happening. So I share your viewpoint here, and totally agree that people are not gonna stop searching for stuff, right? And that's a human need. So if you look for stuff, you gotta find it. And why shouldn't the content come from AI, right?
I think it's more accurate. I would say, when I do a typical Google search, I actually have to first type the keywords or type the question. Then I have to go to like 3 different ads, and then I find like 10 different, websites. And then I have to actually choose which site looks more useful to me. And it might be that when I click on that site, I have to scroll through a bunch of articles or a bunch of ads and content to actually get the answer that I need. Whereas I'm just trying to find how to convert, Celsius to Fahrenheit. And that information you can just directly get from the search box, right? So why actually go there? Like why even go through, so many different sites? But unless you have like really deep amount of content that is having some useful information, then AI is only going to give you like a small specific answer, but it will not give you like the whole long length answer. So that is the difference between AI that works on search versus AI that is actually used to create content sites.
I get it. I get it. You're right about this. AI can give you facts. They can give you some reasoning, but they cannot give you opinions, right? So, for example, if you're creating a lot of news sites, you can do opinion pieces or websites which are focused on creating opinionated articles, opinionated content, and I'm sure that will always be something that people want to consume only for human beings. And the search engine cannot just generate text and give you that thing. So, I totally agree with that. I want to ask you, if somebody wants to start this business today, like, create a lot of blogs and create a lot of content, automate it, what would you tell them how to get started, what kind of money they should have parked away, and what kind of, what steps basically they should be taking to make it work?
I think it's become a lot more inexpensive to do this right now because of AI. So I think all they need is a Chat GPT subscription, and they can actually start using that to actually create content that they want, long form content. And then they just need hosting and a WordPress installation. So that itself is like, if you pay monthly for hosting, it'll cost like $5 a month. And then WordPress is free, obviously. And then you need a few SEO plugins and a few content plugins. So you can either get the Chat GPT thing and then use that to kind of create content that then actually copy paste here. And then you can get a few image plugins as well to kind of generate images for the content. So I think typically you would not spend anywhere more than $15
Yeah,
a month to kind of create these
$15.
sites. Yeah, that's
That's
really
pretty
inexpensive.
affordable. Yeah. Yeah,
Yeah,
that's
yeah,
pretty
it is.
affordable. I guess anyone can afford that. And if you
Yeah.
get to create a business that works long term, why not?
Yeah, and you can actually use the same tools to not just build one website, but probably 20 websites. Because once you have a product and you have access to installing it or a plugin that you can install on like 20 different sites, why not make all those sites?
Can I ask you, can this be
Yeah.
also used to create affiliate websites or to promote affiliate products? Do you think that can work for affiliate sites too?
Yeah, it does. It does work very well. I've seen a lot of people do that. There are plenty of sites that actually create a lot of, good affiliate sites, good content for this, mostly focused on Amazon affiliates, but then, yeah, also for, electronics and software and all those things as well. So I think affiliates can actually make a lot of money as well from the same model. I prefer content using ads than affiliates because a lot of, people, because I would say the conversion from search traffic to content to an affiliate offer and then to actually buying it has a lot of like a lot of people don't really go and buy, but then they still turn into page views and they still turn into ad views for you. So you will still end up making a good amount of money. So you can actually basically mix it up and have both of those things and have the ads from AdWords as well, and also have helpful links inside the content which actually do send traffic to an affiliate offer, and then that works well for both.
Yeah, that's a valid point. Probably some people can even try to do both, have a
Exactly.
content-based site, run some ads on it, and also see if you can promote some offers.
Yeah.
So Ankur, thank you very much. I really appreciate the details that you gave us. I'm sure a lot of people who are watching this channel will be benefited, and some of them might actually want to start this. And if they do, you told me about a couple of products you have, like the Super Site Builder or
Simple Site Booster
Simple Site Booster. Yes,
is for
the
indexing the site
indexing.
faster, and then WPAIGPT.com for actually getting the WordPress content plugin, which I have that uses AI to create long form content.
Awesome, awesome. So I think these tools can be pretty useful, and I will drop a link for these products in the description. People can take a look, and if they want to get it, probably it can be something that they could use. So thank you again for coming to this podcast, for sharing your ideas, for sharing the information about this amazing business that you've set up. It's simple, it's affordable, and it's so easy to replicate. I'm sure a lot of people would try to experiment and try to set up something. The best thing is it's also validated. Now I talk to people who have ideas but who haven't implemented it sometimes, and I'm always circumspect. Okay, is this going to work or not? But knowing you, I know that you've already made it work. We've in fact talked about it over the years. You've been telling me about how you have managed to monetize it, make it better and better. And it's been what we've been having conversations about this for 8 years now. It's such a long time. So I'm sure it's at a very advanced and mature stage right now. Congratulations on building it.
Thank you, thank you. Yeah, I think it's become a lot easier now, and I think if anyone has any kind of a fatigue to actually start this, it's very easy that they just break it down into small steps and just execute on that step every single day or every single week based on how much time they have, and then in less than a month they will have everything done, and that's a good way to start. So there's no reason to rush, and also there's no reason to kind of feel stressed about it, because a lot of people I feel they kind of overthink on all the steps, and it's a very basic like 5 to 6 step process, and they can just do like maybe like one step a week, and they can have it done in like 1 month. So it's very
Yeah,
easy.
I agree with you. I see that in some people too. You start a business and you just want to click some buttons and you want to make profit tomorrow. You want to get paid next hour sometimes, and that's
Yeah.
ridiculous. I think that's why a lot of people are failing because they just don't have the patience and consistency to invest in a system. So I know you've invested in this one for months, and like you said, the first time you started making money was after 4 to 5 months. So you need to have that kind of patience. And to my viewers, I want to give you that advice too. I know sometimes people approach me, they talk to me and ask me what they can do to do things better in your business, in their business. And I want to tell you, you don't need you. It's not special. It's not a special trick or a special skill or magic. It's all about consistency and choosing the right thing. So whatever you choose, whether you want to grow on social media, whether you want to grow through blogs, you got to pick up one thing and then you got to invest your time and skills focused on it. You don't need to make things on autopilot the first day. You can always get started, figure out things, and then once you get to a stage where you can afford to pay for other people, then you can and get some help. But like Ankur said, it can be an hour a day or 2 hours a day, but you have to invest that time for a few weeks or even a few months and then judge where you stand. Don't end anything prematurely and don't quit too soon.
Yeah, definitely, I agree with that.
Awesome. Good to know that. Thanks for the time. You had fun. I had a lot of fun, and I'm sure our viewers will have a lot of fun too listening to this. Thanks again for coming to the show, and I appreciate your time. And hopefully, we will have you again later at some future point with a new idea, with a new venture. Uh, with this note, this is Cyril Jeet, your best friend in business, and I will see you again with a new podcast, a new topic, and maybe even a new guest. Bye.